About some really bad Democrat takes. Oh, God. Okay, so you got Donna Brazile here, who, remember, employed by Fox News Channel because Fox is your friend, right? Whatever. Apparently, according to Donna Brazile, you remember the lady who was taking questions for Hillary Clinton in 2016 to prep her from the debate. Thanks, CNN. The GOP is running on fumes. News to me, but I'm glad you know a lot more than us. Democrats are running on the economy that's roaring back. What fucking numbers are you fucking basing any of these claims on, you dumbass? You absolute idiot. Sunday on ABC's This Week, Democratic strategist and Fox News employee Donna Brazile significantly weighed in on the upcoming midterm elections. All right, let's see this gaslighting. Brazile claimed that the GOP was essentially running on fumes and the energy of the so-called big lie of 2020. When was the last time, okay? Like, you even had Mo Brooks recently, one of the most vocal Trump supporters, lose his endorsement from Trump because he was already saying, all right, we just don't need to be worrying about election integrity anymore. Fucking what, dude? So Trump pulled his endorsement from Mo Brooks, and it's like, well, that's just going to end up fucking painting you in a bad light. But again, he's running for a very, very safe Republican seat in Alabama, so whatever. Does it really matter all that much? No, not really, but outside of that, election integrity is one of those things that gets taken care of at the state level, and most of the laws are already on the books so that they can be enforced and upheld for the 2022 elections, so nobody's really talking about it anymore, except for the talking heads on ABC, CNN, MSNBC, all of your alphabet soup networks. That's about it. Nobody's talking about 2020 anymore. Nobody's looking in the rearview mirror. Everybody's fucking full guns ahead, okay? All guns blazing. Except for these idiots who's like, okay, cool, the GOP's running on fumes. Yeah, there was a little bit of a civil war. Which way do you want to go, okay? And it was very obvious which way they ended up going. It's just the establishment types are like, we're not Biden. Okay, what's the rest of your platform? Not Biden. Cool, that's going to bite you in the ass. But all those establishment types that are currently elected, they're getting a little long in the tooth, and they're just trying to see which way everything's going to be going, because Trump is handing out his endorsements, as you know, and as you can see, and they are paying off in their weight in gold. And if they start to become a little bit more outnumbered, if there's a few more Madison Cawthorns as opposed to Mitt Romneys that are going to be elected, they might be taking early pension. Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham, you know those types, the chameleons that are out there. Or if old blockhead Murkowski would just get stuck in the ice and snow in Alaska if she ever goes back. That'd be great, but a boy can dream. Let's see what the fuck this idiot is talking about. Yeah, so GOP running on fumes, that's great and all that stuff. She argued that, on the other hand, the Democrats are running on the economy that's roaring back and fighting inflation. Those are just lies. Like, this lady she's a liar. Liar, pants on fire. All we have to do is wait over the next 37 days as 11 or 12 states hold their primaries. Now, you have big primaries in Ohio and North Carolina, Pennsylvania, where the former president has already tipped the scales and supported one candidate over another. And in Ohio, and I'm not too sure about North Carolina, which candidates you'd be looking at specifically, but Pennsylvania, he's endorsed Dr. Oz, whatever you want to think about that. And then in Ohio, he just endorsed J.D. Vance, who all of these fucking right-wing outlets are still trying to tear him down, but that dude's a populist through and through, so just because, oh my god, text messages have been unearthed when he said that maybe Trump could potentially be America's Hitler. Cool. Whatever. What is he doing right now? Okay. What does his track record show you? That he's a populist through and through? That he's America first through and through? Yeah, that's probably a little bit more authentic than some out of context, okay? We don't even know verifiable text messages, but you do you guys. Whatever. The Republicans are essentially running on fumes. They're running on energy of 2020, which is the big lie. Oh my god, Democrats are running on an economy that's roaring back, that's fighting inflation, that's helping the Ukrainians. Democrats run on what they delivered. Republicans are going to run on the fumes of 2020. No, that's just retarded. The only people that are running on fumes are the people who can't afford the gas prices. Anyways, like I said, two really bad Democrat takes, okay? You got Jen Psaki over here, who's just, her basic claim is just, why won't you leave the groomers alone? She was crying. A grown woman crying, okay? A grown woman with a high-profile position crying on a podcast. Nothing sadder than that. These are the people who are at the levers of control of your government. Anti-groomer law makes me completely crazy. No, we already knew you were completely crazy. The red hair tells it all. And those roots are showing, lady. You should probably fucking get that figured out. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki broke down in tears over anti-grooming laws in an interview with podcaster Jessica Yellen on Tuesday. Any associate, it's spelled differently than Janet Yellen, the head of the Fed, but, oh, not the head of the Fed, head of the U.S. Treasury. Sorry, you got the white guy named Jerome running the Fed. Anyways, I'm gonna get emotional about this issue because it's horrible. This is an issue that makes me completely crazy. Why won't you just let us indoctrinate your kids? I know leftists aren't fucking because they can't figure out how a female penis goes into a man's butthole and creates a kid. Like, how do we summon the stork to our doorstep? We can't figure it out, so we want to go after your kids. Oh my god, I'm so upset. These fucking speds, they don't get it. They don't get it. And the fact that she's a part of the White House, she should know how laws work, okay? It's not a complicated law, okay? This is still about the don't say gay bill, which nowhere in the text of that bill says gay or straight or anything like that. It's just, you can't teach age inappropriate sexual conduct or content to kids aged kindergarten through the 3rd grade, and that's what gets her so upset. She's a fucking idiot, but she's just about out of her role because I think she's retiring or, I don't know, calling it a day or putting her pantsuit up in the fucking rafters and just putting on that pink comrade hat so she can live out the rest of her days. It's just, I don't know, in think tanks or probably take a cushy position, fucking Twitter board or Facebook or some shit like that. Just reopen that pipeline. Anyways, yeah. Psaki said when she was asked about the laws passed in Republican states restricting schools on transgender issues and sexual identity and giving parents more control over their kids' education. Listen, we're supposed to have the monopoly on teaching your kids shit that you would not approve of. You shouldn't say anything about that, okay? We want to gaslight you into thinking that what you guys learned, what your parents learned in the 70s and 80s in school is still what's being taught today. There is nothing different. The curriculum hasn't changed one bit. But it has. But is she going to recognize that? Is she going to acknowledge that? Nah, of course not. The laws like the one passed in Florida prohibit discussion of sexual identity and gender in school classes with young children and prevent school officials from transitioning a child's gender without the parents' consent. Yeah, I guess that would probably get some motivated activists very upset because they couldn't fuck up your kids for the rest of their life. Cool. That is just a very emotional moment. Psaki said the laws are cruel and didn't represent the majority of Americans. What? No, it does. It really does. But you're just lying. You're fucking lying. It's like kids who are bullied and all these leaders are taking steps to hurt them and hurt their lives and hurt their families. She wept. Fucking clown world. She scolded Republicans for using laws as a political wedge issue. What? On the ongoing culture war fights in the United States. They wouldn't use them as issues if they weren't so overwhelmingly successful. Just take a look at what happened in Virginia. Not that long ago, stupid. The political games and harsh and cruel attempts at laws. Look at all this emotional, these pleas to your feelings. My feelings are hurt. Therefore, you should vote for us because we're nicer people. It's just fucking bitch-made language. Or laws that we're seeing in some states like Florida. It's not a reflection of our country moving to oppose whatever alphabet people, communities. It's not, though. It's really not. She's so dumb. She's so dumb. Psaki was lined up for a future job with cable news outlet MSNBC as she is expected to leave her job at the White House as soon as May. Oh, I thought she was leaving later than that. I thought she was handing in her papers at the end of the year. But hey, no, the sooner the better. Nah. She has refused to confirm any details of her future job, but Psaki has raised her profile in recent days, participating in more friendly podcast interviews. Yeah, trying to dip her feet into the realm because, hey, just like she is now, she's just going to have to read pre-scripted answers and not face any pushback, okay? In an interview with a former colleague of President Barack Obama's administration, Psaki took shots at Fox News as being the company that might make anyone sound like a stupid son of a bitch, referring to the moment when Joe Biden cursed out their White House correspondent, Peter Doocy. Yeah, that's nice, but to be fair, that's literally anybody in the press pool makes you sound retarded. So, hey, to each their own. Whatever, I wish you nothing but the most success in your future endeavors, and I'd be rethinking that lateral move to MSNBC because, hey, at least people are paying attention to you now. Who gives a fuck about what anybody says at MSNBC? So, choose your future plans wisely, you fucking withered old hag. With that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Ugh. Take care, everyone.